feel bad, and I know that I went on live earlier, and it was like an hour long, and whatever, watched hockey, um, and my brain is not in a great place right now, so I'm gonna talk it out. And I have not talked a lot about my medical stuff recently. I talk about my mental health frequently enough, but I am going through some physical health stuff that's been stressing me out. Hey, Jen, welcome in. I am in desperate need of some laughs, so if you would like to put any, hey Zach, welcome in. Hey Stephanie, oh, you're not in a great place yourself. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, hopefully we can feed off each other in a positive way, and we can turn it around. My brain is eating itself right now, just with a lot of stuff that's been going on with me medically, and I just haven't really wanted to talk about it because there's a lot of unknowns. Um, and I have I don't have more answers, but I have more test results. So that's something, but not necessarily great news coming out of test results, and more referrals to a specialist and stuff like that. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. If you would like to send me jokes in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. You can make them up. You can research the best dad jokes. Anything like that, I will greatly appreciate. The square root of 69 is 8 something. Sure, there'll be much left. It's okay. We'll hopefully, like I said, we'll build each other and spirit. Hey, Bridget, welcome in. I was sitting here spiraling too. Okay, so I'm not the only one. What's the punchline, Lori? I know that there's a Drake song that has that in there, so that's when I said 8 something. Uh, uh, but I didn't feel like finishing it because he grosses me out. Haha, laugh at that. So any jokes would be greatly appreciated. Fought the Swift and electric ball winder. I thought I won. Guided yarn from Swift by hand to winder at lowest speed. Got so excited near the end, I pushed the dial to maximum speed. Oh no! Oh no! Why did the yarn break up with the hook? Why did the yarn break up? I want to say because it was hooking on the side or something like that, but I don't know. Ball flew off. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no. Well, thank you all for being here. I really greatly appreciate it. So I've been having a lot of physical symptoms for the past 6 or so months. And they kind of started in the what did the bra say to the hat? You go on ahead. You need to give these two a lift. Yeah, flying balls are always funny. Just don't lose an eye. Too much tension. Hey, Winter, welcome in. So yeah, thank you. All these jokes are great. I really appreciate it. Um, and so I started, my tremor started to get really bad. I really developed a tremor in the fall, and then it started to get really bad, like embarrassingly bad. And my dad has a history, it's like a family history of an essential tremor, which is a benign tremor that happens. It's neurological, but there's not any underlying things usually with that tremor. And so I just figured that it was like my time, right? Like people in my family have it, it's my time. And then it has just been getting progressively worse and worse. I was also having some other issues that were all kind of starting at the exact same time, which like it does make it easier to look back and be like, when did this start? When did this start? When did this start? So I started having some gastrointestinal issues. I will spare you all the details. You are welcome. But just it has been it's been a nightmare. And then like more recently, I've been dealing with a lot of fatigue, like just like no energy at all in my whole body. Um, and but like not tired and not sleepy, even though like my sleeping habits for the past 6 months have also changed, where I went from needing a little bit more sleep than like the average person. I've always kind of needed more sleep than an average person, to needing like 14 to 16 hours a day of sleep, which you might know is not normal. And I was telling my psych doctor this, and like it just seemed like maybe I was in a mood, maybe I was depressed. Oh no, no, Zach. No, no, no. No, Zach, you're always welcome to talk about your emotions whenever, wherever, that's absolutely fine. I mean, I appreciate that you are concerned that that's could be a thing, but I promise it's not. I just like I've been sitting on some test results that I haven't really well like I got the test results back, and then it took a while for my doctor to get back to me, and so that was a couple days ago, and so I've just kind of been thinking about things that he said back, before referring because he was going to refer me to a neurologist, um, because of the tremors, to make sure that they were in fact benign and not an underlying thing. So like I have an uncle with Parkinson's, and um, and uh, he also has celiac, which there's some correlation between the two. And I'm having some celiac symptoms, and so I'm also having this tremor that's starting around the same time, and I'm like, do I have fucking Parkinson's? And like I'm trying to like not jump the gun on that, because that's a diagnosis that you really got to put some time in to making sure that that's what it is. You got to um I did Winter. I was like, Zach, you're a good friend, like you don't have to leave, like it's fine. Things have been feeling it in the way, like heavy things on the mind. Oh yeah, yeah, I understand totally. I'm sorry you're going through that. I really am. And hopefully we can lift things up and be a little lighter. So I'm gonna like just dump all this medical stuff on you guys, and then I'll try to reel it back in. I think I just need to talk about it, because I have not really. I mean, I've told, like, I think I talked to Winter a little bit about it, and I just like I don't really know how to like talk about this stuff, because there's nothing like solid about like a diagnosis or like information that I have, and so I don't want to like think too far ahead and be like a hypochondriac. In like I'm like medically, I would say like I'm not hypochondriac, but I do try to like think of like all these different things. So like when I go to the doctor, I write down everything that I fucking can think of, not because I'm like diagnosing myself, but like I want to bring them as much information as I can so that we can work together. um Panic and just very shaky hands. Yeah, I mean, people can have anxiety related tremor. That's definitely um, don't borrow tomorrow's worries. I try to remember that. That is a great line. I think that's really beautiful, Carrie. Um, And I try to not do that, but then there's also some stuff of just like I just once my mind gets going, I kind of like can't uh, relax. No, I understand the typing. I when I went to one the thing that kind of got to me the most because like if I'm by myself, I can have some hand tremors and like it's not crazy. I tried to do makeup with my hands shaking and it was like it was I was painting with broad strokes because it was not great. And my hands were just like shaking like I was withdrawing from hard substances. Like that's how bad it was. So like that shouldn't be happening, and how quickly it escalated. And when I went to Raleigh, I went to eat um, uh, dinner with my friend, and went out for pho, and I wasn't for some reason was like chopsticks, sure, and I was literally eating the pho like one skinny tiny little noodle at a time because I could not. So I ate three noodles and I was like, fuck this, like that chopsticks are shaking hands worst enemy anyways, but like I was shaking so violently that it was very bad. So that kind of was like one of the reasons when I got back from Raleigh, I immediately was like, I'm going to my primary care. I have to like now, and it's very essential. I need to go now. So 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 I got some blood work done um, right before I went to Raleigh. I had a primary care visit, and I went and got some of my like routine blood work done, and some of the results were kind of weird. And then I came back from Raleigh and I went to the primary care again, and I was like, this is not good. But because I was trying to get in kind of short notice, my regular doctor wasn't there, so I saw a new doctor who he was great. I actually had a really great experience with him, so maybe go back to him too. Um, but so he was like seeing everything with fresh eyes and stuff like that. So I think I've talked but about it, but I don't think I've talked about it in a while about my how bad my thyroid was when it stopped working. So in 2019, so like prior to 2019, I was diagnosed bipolar. I was on medications for like over 10 years. And then all of a sudden, and I'm like working, I had gone through school, I had got my degree in math. I was working at a corporate job that was like high paced, fast paced, and um, like really like challenging. And I loved it. And granted, it drove me a little crazy also, but, um, and then I got really sick and I kept on getting more and more sick. And it felt like I had like the worst flu. I just like had no energy and I just was like, a blob on this earth. And my throat had also started to get really big. So, um, found out that I had my thyroid was no longer working. And so part of this is like the medication that I'm on for bipolar can damage your thyroid. It can actually damage a lot of things in your body, and we'll get to that. But for me, it damaged my thyroid so much so that my thyroid doesn't work at all anymore. So I, um, but we didn't know if it was my medication or other things that was that. Oh, sorry, it's like not even. You guys are talking and I can't. Like way behind. Hey, Chris, welcome in. Hey, Moonrose, welcome in. Yeah, sorry, I'm just like totally like. Yep. Okay. Hey, Amy. I'm dumping a bunch of like medical stuff on you all because like I can't stop thinking about this. Amy, I know you know the struggle. Winter, I know you know the struggle. Lori, I know you know, actually, pretty much probably all of you know the struggle. So, like, I know that, like, we are seeing each other right now. And this is not the first time that I've had medical issues. So 2019, my thyroid stops working. They take me off of my mood stabilizer, which is like one of the 3 meds that I need to function like a semi-normal human being, because they're like, it's killing your thyroid. So they rip me off of that. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to taper things off and on with these medications because they're very hard on your organs. Oh, I just appreciate you being here at all, Zach. Thank you for staying. So after I got in to see an endocrinologist, they were like, you genetic, like, they looked at I told them my family history. This is, again, when I go in, I'm fucking prepared. I'm a fucking scholar on my family's illnesses. And they were like, you were destined to have thyroid problems, but the lithium that you are on exacerbated those issues, it sped them up. You have them a lot earlier than you probably would have if you weren't on it. But you know, your thyroid, ding dong, your thyroid's dead. And but luckily they have this miraculous stuff called Synthroid, which is a synthetic thyroid hormone, which can mostly fool your body into thinking that your thyroid's functioning. So they put me on that, and then I stabilized in that sense, and then they put me back on lithium. But once your thyroid goes, you, like, your mental health can change, and specifically if you have a mood disorder like depression or bipolar, which no one talks about that. And then also a month later, I got a concussion, so that also scrambled some stuff up there. I don't think I was ever right after my concussion. I'm so sorry. I've seen like a little bit of what you posted on Facebook, Amy, and I'm so sorry. I really hope you're feeling better. So yeah, so I got my head pinged, and then so that was in I got my concussion in October of 2019, and since then, up until March of last year, I've been on every bipolar medication. I've been in and out of hospitals. I've become disabled because of my bipolar disorder. I've done all of the treatments that you can do with bipolar, levels of therapy and levels of being inpatient, outpatient, all of that stuff. I'm for the first time, hi Lydia, welcome in. I'm just dumping a lot of medical stuff on you guys because like I really can't fucking handle my shit right now, and just appreciate anybody listening. Yeah, hormones are a huge thing. Yeah, my concussion was minor, but like I was messed up for a long time after it, and having it right after my thyroiditis, I just was not. It was not what was up. But so end of 2019 all the way to March of 2025. I was like, what year was last year? I have been a hot fucking mess. And like, you guys have been here. Like, you've seen me go in and out of treatment constantly this whole time. And like, all of that has been because of that huge destabilization in my life. And then I could not. Okay, thank you for coming in, Winter. I really appreciate it. And just I appreciate you always being willing to talk. And I hope you're doing well. And I hope you can sleep tonight. So it's been a fucking long process, and I finally was like, I can live by myself. I can live away from my family. I can live as like an independent adult. I don't have to be in and out of treatment every fucking couple of weeks. Like, that fucking sucks. And I finally felt like I got my feet underneath me, and then I get my test results back, and there are quite a few big old red flags of things that should not be happening in my body. And one of the big ones is that my parathyroid is overfunctioning. And that is what there's a couple things that can lead to that. One of them could be celiacs, and celiacs is something that actually a couple weeks ago I started thinking that I might have, again, because of I have family history with it, which I don't know if there's any um, familial link, any genetic link between that. I know there can be with Parkinson's, but apparently my uncle does not have the genetic type of Parkinson's or the genetic marker. I guess you can. I don't know. I don't know, but it looks like that. It looks like Parkinson's is pretty much off the table because a lot of my symptoms can be explained by something happening with my parathyroid, which I was like, I didn't even know that fucking existed until like a week ago. And isn't it funny how that works? Your body still does things even if you don't know about it. Um, and and um, oh, I'm still accepting jokes, by the way. Still accepting jokes. Um, so it's overactive, which it could be caused by a couple of things. One, which happens, they said most of the time, they said it's like 80% of the time people will have a benign tumor that they can get surgically removed. And then like 98% of people who have that procedure done because they had that tumor are like a-okay and they're totally fine from like there on out. So like that would be like the optimal thing to have, which like usually you're not like, I hope it's that. Something else that can cause it is a severe vitamin D deficiency, which I am severely vitamin D deficient. And I have been for a long time. And I did like, I take stuff like nothing makes a dent in my vitamin D. And I know you're like, hey, maybe go outside free, but like, um, it's like worse than that. It's like, but if you have celiacs, if you have, or like any like malabsorption sickness or something like that, like celiacs, if you're not going gluten free and you have celiacs, your body's not absorbing your nutrients properly because it's trying to get shit the fuck out of there, quite literally. Um, and so you're not getting your nutrients. Um, and that could be it. And honestly, I think that that's probably what, like that's my best bet. But another thing that it can be is my parathyroid could have been damaged or is just not working like it should because of my meds. Yes, fully, fully have gone completely full circle. It could be because my meds are trying to actually kill me. So I am on the first medication cocktail that has worked for me in 7 years. It's kept me out of the hospital. And even if this is not what's causing it, they're likely going to fuck with my meds. It's just kind of procedure. So I know, and I know with vitamin D, like I know you need like sunlight to process vitamin D. You can't just take the supplements. So I know that I should do that and that would be better, but I'm still not getting enough from my food. Um, so that's probably, you know. I could be better about that. I won't lie, I could be better about that. And it's not like I don't live in a place that has sun. Like, come on. So that's kind of really, so like all that story boiled down to is like my life, like shit hit the fan in 2019 because my body just got pushed over the edge by my meds. And like pretty much every bipolar med is comes with a very lengthy list of potential side effects. And I'm just getting hit with every single one of them. Like every single one of them. And like I have like fewer organs in my body because of them. And I hate like a trash can. We could all do better. We could all do better. Also, like, just like side note, don't you hate when doctors casually drop stuff? Because like I asked my doctor, like, give me a rundown of stuff. And so like when they when you are on lithium, they very frequently do blood levels to make sure that your liver and kidneys are doing fine because those are big targets for lithium. And I always get your liver enzymes look fine. Your liver enzymes look fine. Like that's always what I get, always, right? And so he's like kind of reporting back to me what these results mean, these numbers and these metrics mean. And he was like, "Oh, and it looks like you have a little bit of a fatty liver too." And I was like, what's what? Where did that come from? Like, don't just drop that shit and be like, "Oh yeah, by the way." And I've seen like things that can cause it. So like I guess like just being like kind of being overweight, like having a higher BMI can cause like a slightly, because I was like, all I've ever known of people who have fatty liver disease is people who have alcoholism. And so like I was like, that's definitely not me. Like I don't like hardly drink at all. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Give me some answer. Don't just drop that and like leave. But anyways, diet can cause fatty liver. See, I don't eat that bad or that much. Um, I mean, I don't I could eat better, but I know that you're kind of the liver expert here, Amy. So I mean, I definitely could eat better, but like also like I have like I'm on medications like all my mental health medications make me gain weight, and you can't lose it, like all of them. And so like everything in my body is like, you're fat, but I'm like, I can't help but be fat. I could be way fatter. Like everyone should be proud of me for not being bigger, but nobody ever says that. um but yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll tell me the same, but I'm just kind of like, and like I smoke and vape and stuff, and like, so Lydia says, I take vitamin C and D. My doctor told me to take it, and I can do tanning bed. Sit in sun in nice weather. If it's cold, I can't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, especially people who are in like colder weather climates, like uh, uh, tanning beds can be healthy for them. And I thought about doing it too, but and even like I did for a little bit. I did like UV therapy um, for like seasonal depression, and but like also everything that works for everybody else works the opposite for bipolar. Just as a general statement. So just having a bright light in front of my face for 5 minutes, there's a contraindication for bipolar that it can make you manic. The fuck is that? I'm just like, I can't win. I can't win. You quit your Colorado cigarettes. Need a break. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna like. I'm just kind of waiting till they like stop smoking and like okay. I don't really care about smoking, but it's something to pass the time, I guess, in like a weird way. I don't know. It soothes part of my agoraphobia to be out and like walking around with a cigarette. And I don't really know what that's about, but I just kind of feel like people don't really look at you if you're like, look like you're focused on your cigarette or I don't know. I don't know. There's something in my brain, but like, I don't really care. Um, so yeah, so like that's I just like I really think that there's a high chance that I do have celiacs. I haven't changed my diet yet because I was reading that like it takes like 2 full months to see the results of like cutting all gluten out of your diet. And so I was like, I'm gonna make these changes, and then like, I was, I just was like, I'll wait for like a little bit more information because I'm really not going on a whole lot, but it does seem like that's a very high chance based on some of the stuff I'm going through. Say meds cause weight gain, even just mental struggles cause eating disorders. Yeah, over and under. Oh, I mean, like, no, I totally understand, and you're totally right, totally right. I feel like weight has to be. I like honestly, like, I just don't like talking about. Like that's probably the most I'll ever talk about weight on my channel, and I'd kind of like to leave it at that. Um, I do have an eating disorder, but mine is not related to weight or food intake. It's related to like I have RFID, which is related to like food texture, like as a sensory disorder rather than um, uh, weight loss, weight gain. However, when people start talking about food and talking about weight, it's still triggering. Like it still puts you in that mindset of like you're ED. So I just don't talk. Like whenever like people start talking about like losing weight and stuff like that, I'm like, I'm just gonna go because it's just not the and speaking of, I'm just gonna eat my little lean cuisine. I was so eager and like I guess I was so impatient to get on here and talk that I was like, I can't even eat and then come on here, which that says a lot because I usually do not eat. So I know I just dumped a lot of information on you all, and like I just appreciate you listening. That means a lot to me. I'm not expecting anyone to like come save the day on this one right now. I just like I've been like I would not say bottling it up. I didn't know how to talk about something that was so intangible. Intangible. I don't know words, but I didn't I like it like especially at the very beginning where I was like I have Parkinson's like just like I did not know what to like. Hey Rebecca, welcome in. Thank you, Carrie. Um, so I just like I didn't want to like just like say something like that because like to me that's so um like that would be so not dishonest, but like it's just so 100 steps ahead when like step two could like totally rule that out, which like coming over making breakfast burritos. Ooh, nice. I'm basically eating like a burrito, but like an unwrapped burrito. So it's like rice and beans and chicken. Yeah, yeah, and I appreciate that. And like I also like I posted in this bipolar group that I'm in. Um, back to flying balls. Make sure to duck. I believe the hand-eyed Hank flew straight off the blind. understand how people hit the gas instead of one time I worked so I worked at Domino's for a while. It was like my first real job. Um, and I wasn't working that day, but at my store, this woman had like tried to park her car in front of the Domino's I worked at, and she had like missed, like she had accidentally like pressed the gas instead of the brake, and she drove straight into the building. Luckily, no one was hurt, but and also I think she had flip flops on, so like uh, yeah, it was not pretty. I think the store was closed for a little while after that, or just so we had like a sheet up or something. I don't really remember, but yeah, that was crazy. So yeah, I don't want to jump into anything, but as a result, I didn't talk to anybody about it, and like when I got to a point where I like the only people I did talk to about it, it was kind of like word vomit because I was just like I can't hold it in anymore. So um, I felt like I wasn't really like I was just like freaking out, but I didn't have anything like to like look at like, hey, maybe this is what's going on or anything like that. So we'll see. I have no idea what's going on. And so now, so my tremors can be explained by my parathyroid. And I think I still have the referral out for the neurologist, but I also have another referral to a new referral for an endocrinologist because I don't have an endocrinologist out here. Um, and um, we'll see how that goes. Because, like, I could kind of tell from my doctor, my primary care's email, it was like, this is a escalation to out of my scope, you know? And if if the parathyroid is anything like the thyroid, they'll order, a um, what you call it, ultrasound to see if there's a mass. I don't know where the parathyroid is. I'm just pointing to the sides of my thyroid, like sure. Um, apparently it's like four glands, so I'm assuming they're somewhere. And I'm glad he tested those. Like, it's really smart to test those because like that's not a standard test by any means, even for people who have thyroid problems. So like usually when you get your thyroid tested, they look for two specific th- thyroid hormones, T3 and T4, and like and TSH, so three. Sorry, but he was like, we should also test your parathyroid. So like, good catch on his part because like that like immediately was like way high. So and can cause a lot of my symptoms. Not all of them. So we'll see. And if that's the case, all of the things starting around the same time also makes sense because I went in being like you know Parkinson's and celiacs on set at the exact same time is very unlikely. I had no idea. I don't think I've ever had it tested, like ever. So, but also I joined like a celiac group uh, on Facebook, and I was like, the fatigue is so bad. Was it like this for anyone before they got diagnosed? And like some people were like, yeah, it got really bad. So, you know, could be that. Could be that. I mean, I really like eating gluten, and I think everything that is good in this world has gluten in it. But I would also like to not feel terrible, and a diet change, if that's the worst that it's gonna be, which it's more than like a diet change, really. Like being like the difference between being like gluten sensitive and being celiac is different. Like there's cross contamination and things that you have to like consider. Um, but um, but even that's better than like, I don't know. I don't want to rank things right now, but put too much stock in everything. So yeah, parathyroid is a big deal for fatigue. If I mean, yep, yes, yes. And now I'm like surprised, and it's also like a mental thing where like now that I know that that's going on, I feel more fatigued, which sucks. And I guess I was just like pushing through it because I was just like, I don't know why I'm tired. But now if I'm like my parathyroid fucking sucks, then I'm like, I know I am tired. Let me just sit in bed all day. Um, but like I know when I had thyroiditis, like I talked about like feeling like I had the flu, like I was drained. I was exhausted. There was not enough sleep. There was not enough rest. There was not enough lying down. And like showering, like putting clothes on, like all of it just was miserable. Yeah. Yeah, if there can be psychosomatic symptoms, I will experience them because my brain likes to fill in the blanks. Yum yum. I tried to eat a salad earlier, like a bagged salad, but it was like 98% like coleslaw filling, which I can only eat so much like raw cabbage like that before I'm like, get me the fuck out of here. So so instead I'm eating rice and beans and chicken. Fancy. But it would explain a lot of things, and yeah, like I said, I haven't had it tested before, and you know, this and that and whatever. So but I just, I really, I just have a lot of fear about what it's going to do for my mental health medications. And like, I wish that that wasn't a factor. And tomorrow, I'm going to try to call my psych, and um, I'd like let them know that that's probably going to be coming up. And, you know, I don't like, because like it's possible I could get in to see the endocrinologist and they'd be like, no, you don't have to worry about that. We'll see. But usually they want to pull that lever first to see if like that's putting pressure on your parathyroid. And then, but I've got other stuff going on that like other symptoms like that make so much more sense that something else. So it's like, well, if you have two things attacking your parathyroid, where you have this chronic like malnutrition, I guess is malabsorption is I guess a better word. And then you also have this pressure being applied by these medications that you're on that very often affect the parathyroid. Um, you know, get so bloated and feel like I was gonna explode if I ate that much raw cabbage. Yeah, it's just I like cabbage in a lot of things, but sometimes it just like putting it in like a salad and also eating the like yeah, I hate when they fill up bags of lettuce like that. Like, don't do that to me. I bought this one before. It's like a southwestern style, but it's a salad. But like, I forgot that that's how the lettuce was. I'm very particular about my lettuce and salads because there's a lot that I don't don't like. Like, just give me romaine. That's pretty much all I like at this point. So so yeah, I did take an anxiety med, which I don't an extra one today. Usually I just take one, but I took two because I was not chill, and I feel like it's kicked in by this point because I'm like, I mean, also talking really helped, but like I feel like it helps if I picture myself tightly wound like a slinky. I feel like it just kind of not completely straightens out that tension, but just like eases it up a little bit, helps it out a little bit. I'm not on a crazy high dose, um, but just enough to like make me a functional human, kind of. I like ranch too. Yeah, I've never been just a big salad person in general, but I really I really like vinaigrettes and stuff, um, like balsamic vinaigrette and raspberry vinaigrette, stuff like that. So tasty. I haven't quite graduated to the like just eating things with like like oil and vinegar and stuff, but baby steps, baby steps. I wish I liked salad more. Just I don't think I'm ever gonna be that kind of person. You really like vinaigrettes too? Nice. Yeah. I like fresh veggies, but I also like am very forgetful, and so I will often get them and forget. You just ran out of your thyroid medication, and you have to go back to your primary care physician, and you're dreading it. I understand that. I I was just about to say this, and I was like, "Is this like a weird thing to say?" But I was like, "I don't know where I'd be without my thyroid medication." And then I guess like it's very factual, so accurate. I don't know how people who like have a thyroid issue don't how they are not in Centauri. I don't understand, and maybe that's because like in my head, like my thyroid literally does nothing. Like I'm on a full replacement dose of Synthroid. It's just there in my throat. Um, so like if I stop using it, my body literally falls apart. I like the spicy salad in bag with dill chips. Yum. So don't touch it. You might like it. So tasty. That sounds awesome. Where do you get that from? You've been feeling weird without it? Yeah. Um, I mean, it's like once you know what your life can be like with Synthroid, going without it is like I know someone on here, and I won't like name names or like point fingers because like they've got their reasons and stuff like that. So, it's their life, but like they know they should be on Synthroid and they're not. Again, for their own reasons that aren't my fucking business. But I just think like how miserable I would be. Like I would sell my kidney to be on Synthroid because I have to. I would literally have to. Otherwise, I would cease existing. You know, Target. Okay, I don't really shop at Target, but there's just not one like around me. But that sounds good though. I'll see where I could see where I could find it. Also, like targets here are really weird because like there's not space to build out like a super target, so you get this like mini like um they kind of take the most lackluster part of each department in Target and put it all in one tiny space that would be like the size of like a David's bridal. I don't know what other size to compare it to. Like it's a very weird. Like it's like why would they're like here's the men's section. Here's a shirt, a sweatshirt, shorts, and socks. That's the men's section. But it's like literally like one or two of each of those things, and that's it. You could like just the men's section. You could like go through uh, within like 20 seconds. And when your target is a dartboard, that's a really good way. They deliver close. I do get delivery my grocery delivery from Walmart, so I'll check it out. I usually get there like what's the food brand? I was gonna say Mainstays, but I've been thinking about Yarn. Um, but whatever. Oh, Chris, I increased my rank and Spark ranked in Magic the Gathering. My deck's been playing a lot better since I changed it. So yeah, I love spicy anything. Um, which like given all of my stomach problems, you think like that would be like a big hell no, but like spice is the one thing that gives me purpose in life. So I wish I had more space because like I would spend the money to get like nice hot sauces, but I don't really have space to like store them. Food storage space is really limited in this apartment, and that's something that really sucks. So um, I've been thinking about getting like a it looks kind of like a dresser, but it opens up and it's like a pantry, and like replacing this right here with like a pantry, which I don't know if that's like ultimate fat kid move or what, but I just don't really have any space left in my apartment. The only space that I have that could work if I didn't have Scotty would be like where I have his litter box, but clearly litter boxes are very important. Yeah, I mean they really don't like they really Bridget, you're right. They're really not putting out stock. I mean they I think that like once they realized that there's so much competition online, they just kind of stopped. But then they kind of kept digging their own grave in a sense where it's like, well, like now if you do want to go to a store and you need something, there's like jack shit there. Um, like when I went to Raleigh, Walmart actually had some good stock, but it was like it's all like very basic, which that's kind of standard for Walmart. The Walmart here is is actually is just it's so small. Um, Two and I, it's a three, but yeah, I mean like we can get so much from online, but like I think I don't know if anyone else has experienced this personally, but like I really I would really prefer to like be able to go and like touch some things before I bought them and not have to buy them online, even if I can return them and shit like that. It's like I don't want to have to go return shit. And yes, props to all the crocheters that work with 1 and 2 8. A loft bed. Um, that's a good idea, but I like the bed frame came with this apartment, which I could get them to take it out, but I just I'd have to have some help getting that together. The building manager might help me. He's a nice guy, and that would leave some more room. Put a desk under there. I like where you're going. I like where you're going with that. That would be cool. I would, have some anxiety about the bed falling apart. But yes, let's not even let's not I every time I think about Joanne, I'm just like the sting has not gone away. And what other store that's closed down has had that type of impact on anybody, right? Like every time I have to go to Michael's, which isn't that much because I would rather buy online from anywhere than go to Michael's because Michael's fucking sucks. Excuse me. Sorry. My parathyroid is acting. Um I hate it. Like if you are not looking for a brand new release from a Caron cake at Michael's, you will not be able to find yarn that you need easily. Like if you were looking and you have an um yeah, I just like I don't I mean I think that's a great idea, Chris. I don't have really anyone to help me build it. I would have to pay for it, which, money. And then I'd have to like get my bed up there and all of that. So like I think it's a really cool idea. I never really thought about it like that. I don't think I ever thought about it. I know there's like a lot of shit. There's an IKEA. Oh, speaking of IKEA, AC Moore. Oh my gosh. Oh, I miss AC Moore. But AC Moore didn't have the fabric, right? Or like not that much fabric. Because like if you sew, the loss of Joanne is tremendous, tremendous. Um, but I do miss AC Moore. AC Moore just had this like this warm like I don't know. I associate it with my grandma who passed from Alzheimer's, and I just like I don't know. I just associate that with her, and I don't even think we necessarily even went more than a couple times. It's just like it was just so nice to like. It just felt warm and like family and like loving, and then Joanne had everything, and also there was always discounts. IKEA charges less to build than hiring someone. Don't ask how I know. So. Yes, but they still charge. And delivering. Oh, so like on the way, if I'm going to IKEA here in LA, um, I pass IKEA when I go to Orange County, and I have a friend in Orange County, and I know I told you guys, or I think I told you guys that I sold my car in December. Well, my friend has not made a single payment since December, and I'm having to take the car back, which fucking sucks in every sense of the word, because I don't want to be an asshole, but and like I've like tried to like negotiate like every single way around like to make it easier on her. And she's had a really difficult year, but like still. Um and also like I gave up my parking spot here and there's like no street parking and I'm just like stressing me out. So that's what IKEA brought up. Chicken soup, noodles, and then packets. Yum. Best yarn selection, absolutely. Great molds. Yeah. Brick I like if I need 2+ yards of something, it makes sense to order it online. That's not a big deal. Shipping can be a little bit annoying, but it's not usually not like um that bad. Um but usually I just need like a quarter of a yard, half a yard, and I don't want to keep, I don't need that. Yeah, friends and money are often bad things. And like I really didn't want to do it and then I just like we wrote up a contract and like I just was like I like I was just like really hoping it wouldn't come to this like every way and it just and like yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done it, but like I barely used my car when it was here, so it felt like it was a good call and would be something that if I did move away from because I was thinking about selling my car anyways. Um, but I didn't want to go through the process of doing that, and now I'm like, no, I've got to do it anyways, and I just like I'm my parathyroid's not working right, and I'm tired as shit, and I have to sell a car now. I don't want to do that. I don't want to fucking bargain with someone when like it should have been taken care of. So yeah, that doesn't feel good either. And also like I'm pretty sure like she's been very like apologetic and not like in a like she's been like arguing with anything I've said because I've been like more than reasonable I think and I think she thinks because I try to be like very flexible with her but like I'm also trying to be like firm with like boundaries and also like if you have the car for a couple of months and you have not paid anything on it like I think you have voided our agreement. But also kind of recognizing that it probably will end our friendship. And like, that's got to be what that's got to be because it's pretty shitty to take advantage of someone who is trying to be flexible with you. So I don't know. I'm not an expert on this stuff. And yeah, I had feared it would be a bad idea, and my fears came to fruition. But um, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what incentive there would be for her to do it. Because like the longer she longer it takes to find someone to buy the car, the more she has the car. And she lives in Orange County, which is like an hour and some change away. Um, but and I just like I just like nothing is like it'll be, like every single thing that I've been promised would happen has fallen through. And it's like 10 things. Like, oh, I'll pay this and I'll have your payment of this by the middle of the week. And then I'll have, by the end of the week, I'll have the next payment. And then like that all falls through. And it's like, so it's just like, yeah, I feel fucking icky. Like, I feel so gross about it. Cause like she legitimately has had a really rough start of the year. Like, a lot of things happen, but I just, like, I also was like, if she would have just given me a heads up, like, ugh, like if she would have just given me a heads up or like tried to communicate with me at all, but it was just like I've had to like track her down with everything, and like I'm not that kind of person, and I'm fucking tired. I'm fucking tired, y'all. Fucking tired. So yeah, and she was paying less than she was gonna pay me a month to rent a car a month. So she's saved money in like multiple ways. I'm just like, okay. So I don't know. Feels very weird. I talked to my therapist about it because I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this confrontation or like this like type of like asserting my boundaries. And so we had to go through like all of the, how would you do it if this came up? How would you do if this came up? Which is embarrassing when you're an adult and you can't handle any type of conflict. What are you gonna do? Anyways, we'll move on from that topic. But yeah, that's been like stressing me out, like in the very back of my mind, because I'm like, I don't have time for this shit. I am trying not to like have a full blown meltdown from my medical stuff, which I think, like, honestly, like just talking to you all again, like I can't express enough how thankful I am just for you to listen. Like, you all didn't have to say a fucking word, and you didn't even have to show up, and just like letting me put this on the internet and like talk about it is very helpful for me. Just like sometimes I don't bottle things well. Does not bottle well. And so just like you letting me put this up on the internet, period, is kind and is helpful. So being here and talking to me and talking me through it and sharing your similar experiences, I really do appreciate. Um, but like that, like so, like the car thing is small potatoes when it comes to like your health is going downhill and you think your meds are trying to end you. I really hope they don't touch my meds. Oh, I hope they don't touch my meds. And also, so like literally, one thing I did not mention. So like, I was talking about being independent, and like I think some of you also know that like the decision to live in LA versus going back to Raleigh or North Carolina in general has been something that has been on my mind for quite a while. It's been a difficult decision, something that I went back and forth with for a long time. Actually, pretty much the whole time I've been in LA and in California. And I finally like made my decision. And then like literally a week after, I was having all of these problems just flare up insanely. And then I get these test results and I get more test results and like all of this stuff. Like the minute and I make my decision, like I made my decision when I sold the car. Oh my gosh, everything's connected. Everything's connected. Um, but I was like, I'm gonna stay here and I'm just gonna use public transit. And then if I do decide to leave, then I don't have to worry about selling my car because it's already sold. Kind of, right? Um, So I made my decision then in December, and then all my health problems started to get a lot worse. I was like, shit. And then I got my lease renewal a month ago or so. And the minute I sign it, because I'm like, okay, like this sounds right, I feel good about this, I'm stable, everything like that. The minute I sign my lease agreement, within a week, my physical health is getting significantly worse. And I'm like, motherfucker, like, shit. So I'm also like, what if this health total package, physical and mental, because like if they have to change my mental health meds, that could put me in a bad place. Or if I can't figure out what's going on physically and I need support, right? Like I need like I live alone. Scotty is great. I love you. I love you, dude. He's asleep. He doesn't give a shit. But like he like if I'm so fatigued and I fall and I can't get up, my 34-year-old ass can't get up or some shit. Like he can't help me. I don't have life alert. I could get life alert, but I don't think that's the point anyways. But like I'm like shit, I just signed my 12-month lease renewal and my body is fucking falling apart. Like all of this stuff is just like stacked on itself, and I know that's just fucking life. I know that's what life does, but it doesn't make it suck any less. You know what I was saying? So part of my brain has been like, shit, I might have to abruptly like end my lease again and like move back to North Carolina so that my family can take care of me in case I lose my shit physically or emotionally. And I don't want to do that, but I'm also just like kind of at the whim of whatever my fragile little body and mind want to do. It's tough. It's tough. But yeah, so that's my story. I don't think I have any more. Oh yeah, and I forgot things because I think that's pretty much it. I think Scotty would like a loft bed because I have a cat tree at the foot of my bed that's pretty tall. It's like 4.5 feet tall. So I think if I had a loft bed, he could use the cat tree to get all the way up to the top of the loft bed, and then I could work underneath, and that'd be pretty sweet. Would open up some square footage because literally I think I've told you guys about the layout of my room, my apartment. So I share a kitchen with 3 roommates, but then I have my own private bed and bathroom. And my square footage, I don't think they included the closet, um, is 100 square feet. Like it's fucking tiny. It's fucking tiny. I live in LA. Luckily, I have a really like, I have a long, I have a closet that's pretty long, but the 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 ceiling of it tilts in because it's under staircases, or it's under a staircase. So like getting to the back of it's pretty hard, especially when there's a mountain of yarn there. If you didn't have to buy, you have to take care of yourself the best you can. Yeah, and like I've really been trying to, and really this whole time, that's why like, and I don't know if you all noticed that when people ask if I'm staying in California, or at least before I was sure, like before December, people would ask, and I would just kind of sidestep the question because I still did not know. I still was not sure. Um, and I was kind of ready to go kind of if like I had a contingent like if like they had told me I was under rent control and I would be capped at like 4% year over year. And and I was like, but it wasn't in my contract. Like it wasn't in my lease agreement. So I was like, well, if that falls through, or if they were lying or something like that, and I can't like find like a paper trail, then I later actually very recently found out that's a city of Los Angeles thing. So it's not controlled by. Um, so it wasn't just something that they told me like it's a city of Los Angeles thing. That my apartment complex qualifies for. But I was like, if they like, because I've heard stories of people getting like 25% year over year increases in LA, which is nuts, absolutely nuts. So it's like if they hit me with something, I'm just gonna fucking dip. I'm gonna take Scotty, and we're gonna go across the country. Little anxious boy. Yeah, I mean, I like. There's pros and cons of like being in LA, being in California, versus being in North Carolina. Um, and like it's been really hard to weigh everything because I just don't, it just doesn't feel like there's a right answer. Like I am very alone here and I don't talk about that much. Like I don't know how to make friends. Like, and part of that is like from being like agoraphobic. Like I don't go out, and going out is something that is required to make friends in person. Um, so that's a challenge. So I would feel a lot more supported if I could like meet people and make friends. Um, and it's just hard to do because I've never really been on my own as an adult other than this year. So it's just a weird experience. But then there's also a lot of cons in North Carolina that make me want to stay the fuck away. And then I have friends in North Carolina that I love to death. That whenever I see them, I'm just like, oh, it would be totally worth it to live near you and away from other people in North Carolina. But the resources available, mental health wise, trans health wise, are very different, unfortunately. And weirdly enough, mental health is actually like there's more mental health care in North Carolina and less in California. Just because they're so saturated that like if you have severe issues, if you have things that are not as cookie cutter, you kind of fall through the cracks. Whereas there's in North Carolina, like for like one example, like there's I was seeing a psychiatrist that worked with a practice that was kind of like a community thing, I guess, where part of it was a primary care thing that only saw people with severe mental illnesses. So with schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. And then the other part was psychiatry, same, only bipolar and schizophrenia. So like really could get the experts in care, and that was like so great to like be able to have them. Stephanie, I lost most of my friends because of agoraphobia. I'm so sorry, Ian. Oh, I'm so sorry you deal with that too. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. And like, I don't know about you. I'm sorry, Zach. You're welcome to stay and hang with us, but I'm sorry you can't sleep. That fucking sucks. That happened to me in winter the other day, and we tried to like bore each other to sleep. It was really weird, random thing that we did. But yeah, I know that sucks. Um, yeah, I hate like describing my agoraphobia to people because I feel like and I'm not trying to say that that yours is like this at all. because I think it can manifest in different ways. But like when I describe like what I feel and like what my brain thinks when I talk about my agoraphobia, I feel like the craziest person to ever exist. And for someone who is as bipolar as I am, and as like the 50 other mental health diagnoses I have, am like agoraphobia is the one that I'm most self conscious about because it feels so silly. And I don't know if you feel that way, but like describing it, I feel so silly, but it's fucking devastating. It's devastating, and like now it's hard on a lot of facets of life. But that's why I get my groceries delivered. Like I can't even fucking go get groceries. Like, wow, weird. So oh, Stephanie, I'm so sorry. That's so painful. That's so fucking painful. I like mine's not quite the same experience, but I know exactly what you're talking about, and I want to like fucking implode because of how much I relate to that. Zach, I think it's important to talk about. I mean, like Zach, I've been on here for 100. I've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes talking about my emotions, and so like I'm not even in the place where I could tell you that it's not fair for you to talk about your emotions. And I know that you've mentioned bottling up things before. I cannot bottle. So, and like if I do, I start to lose my fucking mind. So, I think it's important to talk about your emotions and get them out in as healthy ways as you can manage at the time. And that's not always a healthy way. I'm just like saying in general. But if you can do like reduction in like how bad the blow up could be, and that's an improvement. And like you should give yourself some praise for that because like it's hard feeling like you have to like suffer in silence and suffer alone. And like that's 100% why I'm here talking about what I'm feeling. 100%. Because if you don't, like, where the fuck is it gonna go? All that pressure is gonna build up inside of you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what you said. And like I'm like, I'm really fortunate that like I go to therapy and like I don't I'm like luckily a lot of the people in my life now don't dissuade me from talking in therapy. I think that um you know, one of the benefits of being diagnosed with bipolar very young, I was diagnosed at 15 and I was off the fucking rails. But like all these things that were like taboo, for a lot of families, to go to therapy and talk about what's going on and stuff like that. It was like, please fucking go. Like they were like begging me to go. And while I know therapy is not obtainable to everyone, um, I think that talking it out, even with friends, I just think that that's really important. And that's what friends are for. Friends are for give and take. So I'm glad that you could talk about it. I'm so glad you're here, Stephanie. I'm sorry you're going through it. I'm sorry that you have agoraphobia because that fucking shit sucks. I like I'll tell you my thing. And like Zach, I will say if people judge you, they're not your real friends. I'm just gonna straight up say it. They're not your real friends. Also, you don't need to tell people you're going to therapy. Like you can just go. Like you don't have to announce it. You can just go. And A therapist is like a a friend who is sworn to secrecy. They can't tell people. Um, but like, so here's my agoraphobia. So it was different when I lived in North Carolina, but right now, if I leave, I feel like there's like this like invisible, like, so there's like an actual fence around my apartment complex. I feel like if I leave that fence, there's like an invisible fence that goes like all the way up, right? And if I leave that space, if I exit that door, I will just collapse into nothing. Like my bones will cease to exist and I will just like become like a puddle on the ground. And like the thought of like having to go out, the process, like I get so anxious about going out. But then the minute I cross that threshold, I'm fucking fine and I don't give a shit about anything. Like I don't care. Like I'm fine and it's like I never had agoraphobia. But getting past that gate is fucking a nightmare. But I'm just like convinced that my bones will cease to exist. Like what? What are what? What? I've never said this online. I've never said that online. I have all kinds of issues. I just love it when we can always have a place. Yeah, and like even when I'm not venting, you all can come to here and have these moments where you talk about how you're feeling. Like I want you to know that like you can talk about that even on days that I'm doing okay or doing good, you know? Like that's part of like friendship and camaraderie is like we get that we don't have our bad days on the same days and like you're welcome to come here and talk about it. Like I want you all to know that because life's tough. Life is really tough. And I keep waiting for it to get easier. It's just getting harder. It's just getting harder. Oh, it's just getting harder. Oh, fuck. I almost started crying. Legitimately. I never cry. You are not a bother, Zach. You are not a bother. I think we all have I think a lot of us, I will say, have feelings of being a burden to others, which is why we don't bring our problems to other people. We bottle things in. I think more times than not, we overestimate how much we're going to bring other people down or bother them or like whatever. Like if you're my friend, like I got your back. Like like I fucking got your back. Like come fucking talk to me. And maybe sometimes I'm like, "Hey, I'm sorry you're going through that. I am at capacity right now and I really want to hear you out, but I need to handle my own shit right now. So I can't, but I love you. I got your back, but I can't hear anymore right now. Give me a day." Like that's what I can do. But um but it's you're never going to be an inconvenience to me. Like you're never going to be a bother to me. Sometimes I might not be able to help because I'm dealing with too much. But that's just again just what friends do, right? So so if you need to talk, like talk here, message me on Facebook, message me on Discord. All of that stuff's fine. Sometimes years is the release we need. Sometimes right? Sometimes ears. Like time or listening. Like could both work? I'm thinking about what you said, Lori. Tears. Oh, yeah. Yeah, tears are, I mean, a therapeutic cry. What a wonderful thing. I just don't cry that much anymore. I used to cry all the time. I heard that a lot of people who take testosterone, they cry a lot less. Sometimes when you open up, people turn it to be about themselves. Oh, absolutely. Oh, whew, yeah. Even when you're hanging by a thread, it's like they're sharpening their scissors. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That is a line that should go in a song or something. A fucking poem. Beautiful, artistic, painful, but accurate. Yeah. I I I I saw this one thing. It was like on. It was about ADHD, and it was like when people talk to you about the problems, and like you try to relate, and you end up talking about yourself, and you don't know if you're talking about yourself too much, or if you're showing that you relate. But like that's how some ADHD people communicate, and it really got me thinking. I was like, I wondered how I was perceived when I tried to be there for people, and so it's made me be more conscious. Fuck, I suck at words right now. Maybe me be more conscious of being like, okay, well, I can say, here's how I relate, like, but also like meet you where I'm like making sure that you understand that I don't uh sorry, but I try to make sure that they know that I'm listening, and I'm not trying to insert myself in the story. I'm trying to relate and show that I can relate and experience that with them, and it's how I empathize. I know now I'm a burden because that's someone I love with all my heart. I the the idea of us being burdens to people we love and who love us back is something that is in a, I don't know if I want to say like an eternal struggle, but it's something that I can relate to, and I wish I had a better answer to. And I've been the burden that was too much many times. And so I'm sorry that for anyone that feels that way, because I know it's an unbearable feeling. I'm sorry, Zach. I even like when I heard you kind of talking in your live about giving up. I could sense that there was just a lot of emotion there for you today, and I'm sorry that that kind of got to you. And I don't think that there's any problem that you experience that and you voice that. I think that sometimes when we I think I think, and I was looking at what was happening in the chat too, and I think that there was also some people who were maybe kind of hearing what you were saying and applying it to the situation of the live, and maybe weren't kind of hearing like a slightly deeper meaning that maybe I interpreted. Maybe you had a little bit more meaning too, um, and sometimes it's people are going to misinterpret what we say, and I know wanting to give up is a very um, it seems I don't want to say it seems easy because I don't even think that's the case. I just think that sometimes we just get so fucking tired. We just get so fucking tired, right? And but um, when that's the case, when you feel like that's when you talk to someone. Like that's when you don't sit in those feelings by yourself. You don't sit by yourself with those things because really bad things can happen when you sit by yourself with those things. Yes, we love you very much. Relating, but twisted someone pain this is severe, like, and it's severe to be about myself. Absolutely, Stephanie. Yes, I wanted to kind of give like a broad benefit of the doubt, but yes, no, you're totally right that like there are people who like just make it about themselves, and my opinion when I'm not losing my shit is those people are going through their own thing and like therefore can't be the friend that I need right now. And we're not reaching each other for one reason or another. And sometimes I don't need that right now. Sometimes I don't need that person in my life. If this is a trend, when like everything that's going on with me, they're going through something worse than what I'm going through, and nothing I'm experiencing is valid. Maybe that's a person I don't need in my life. And like in my years, I've just been like, you know what? It's okay to just like not like having people in your life, and to say like, well, it's been real, and I'll be polite if I see you in passing, but that's it. And I think that's a much happier life to live, because like whenever you're going through a hard time, you deserve someone who's going to listen to it. All of us do, right? And you know, I think that if you're talking to someone who always makes it about themselves, like you're only going to feel worse. Fuck that. You had to delete your live because it froze, and the only way to end it was to delete it. Yeah, I know that sometimes I have to end mine in like a really weird way, but I know sometimes you have to delete them and stuff like that. And I think Zach, when you're already in an emotional place, doing stuff like that can feel very just tacking like the cherry on top of like a shit Sunday, like for lack of a better way to put it. You know, you're like, and another thing, Jesus. So I know. Before the record, if you all are ever feeling emotionally vulnerable, in a bad place, need to vent, anything like that, like you can come on here when I'm on live. You can talk to me on Facebook. You can talk to me on Discord. Like I said, if I can talk to you and like help as much as I can, I will. If I can't at that very moment, I'll give you a heads up, and that's okay, hopefully. But like that's as much as I'll do. I'm really trying to work on my personal boundaries and not push myself to people please when I'm, you know, also working on myself. We're all working on ourselves, right? Yeah, I don't play the comparison game. That's me as a fucking adult. I'm done with that shit. I am done with the comparison game. I am over it. And people who do that all the time, I'm done with. And that's something I don't play around with. I really that's actually probably one of my biggest pet peeves. So yeah, for fuck's sake, absolutely. Cheers to that. Doesn't that look like Scotty if he had like a furrier tail? Um, that's why I got it. Because it looked like Scotty. Yeah. So I want you all to know again that this is a safe space for you all to talk about this. And if you start talking about something like that in the chat, and the chat is for whatever reason doing weird things, and like you feel like the chat's not supporting you, I'm not supporting you, like feel free to reach out to me one on one. We can talk, because I do want you. Um, yeah, and like yeah, I don't I and I the thing is I see it as that person is suffering, but I can't be there like um I can't be there that person they have where they can always at least like, you know, push down on or something like that. I don't like that behavior. It's very off-putting to me. I grew up around people like that, and I think at one point I was one of those people, if I'm being honest. Just because and maybe that's why I can maybe empathize a little bit with that person saying, like, like, I was so fucked up that everything in my life felt like it was on fire, that I felt like everyone else's house was less on fire. And the truth is, you can't compare traumas. You can't compare those things. That's not how shit works, and that's not cool. So I had to learn, I had to grow up. They might still be in that place, and I'm very sorry for them, but I can't change that. They have to change that themselves. Yeah. And it's like, well, it might be worse, but it doesn't make your shit suck any less, right? Like the house on fire thing, it's like, or like the trauma thing, like, it's like they might have experienced a bigger trauma, a bigger T, as we call it in the therapy world, but your trauma is still a trauma to you. So, okay, they experienced a bigger one. Does that mean you're not allowed to feel like a certain way? Fuck that. So, like, I'm not about that life anymore, because if I can grow out of it, my fucking dumbass can grow out of it, then they can grow out of it. And I don't have any patience for that. So, so yeah, just know that you have a friend in me, you all, and no matter how much we know each other, or if we know each other just a little bit, I really like. I don't like, if I'm gonna be your friend, I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna commit to the bit. And I love you, motherfuckers. How did this turn into like a weird motivational talk? I really do love you guys. I mean, like, I will say, and I don't mean this lightly. I don't mean this lightly whatsoever. That you all have saved my life, have gotten me through these hard times, are a huge part. When I talk about being stable for almost a year, you were a big part of it. You being here, being my friends, like, you're a huge part of that. And I'm so thankful for that. I'm truly, truly thankful for that. I could not have done it without you all. And so if I can lend an ear, it's the least I can do. I really mean that. We got really motivational talking right up in here. Unless it kind of hurts when people don't reach out. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. Yeah, it's I definitely um I definitely see all sides of that, all sides of that, and um, God, I have so many opinions about that. I don't even know where to begin. But yeah, it's if people can reach out to us, if we can create a safe space where people can talk to us, then that's the most we can do. We can't make people talk to us. Some people are going to force themselves to suffer alone, and I hate that for them. But if we can say, hey, we're a safe space, and make it as much of one as we can, then that's the best we can do. Oh, love you too, Rebecca. Love you, Lori. Stephanie said, "One good lesson for me." Stephanie, you are full. Stephanie, I don't know if you write or like compose or anything, but you've got bars. Like, you need to put pen to paper and put these down, because they are good. They are good. I mean, love songs, emo songs, whatever you want to write. You got good stuff. You got good content here. I'm just saying. Okay, so sorry. Stephanie said, one good lesson for me was never get upset for someone for hanging by a thread. Damn. You never know what that might cause. Exactly. Exactly. And sometimes you don't know that they're hanging by a thread. You can kind of tell sometimes. Sometimes you can't tell at all. They're just an asshole, or just acting out, and you don't know. You just don't know what other people are going through. Okay, kind of clicked on too many times. Kindness and understanding is the way to go. People don't choose to have a mental breakdown. Hell no, they don't. Zach said, I struggle opening up, Chris, and reaching out. I feel like a burden. Yep, it's so common of a feeling. And I think that release of that feeling comes with practice. And you can do baby steps. Baby steps. It doesn't have to be, hey, I've been going through this big thing for 6 months and I've been feeling this way and blah blah blah. You don't have to come on the internet and give like an hour-long sermon of how you've been feeling emotionally like I did. You could just be like, today was a hard day at work. It was pretty rough because the other dishwasher, splashed water all over me, and he does this every time, and he's a total dick. Like, it doesn't have to be big things. It can be small things, and those can be small ways that you build up practice and you build up tolerance to learning that you are not a burden for having emotions, because every person has emotions. And also, you're just releasing the pressure valve to that potential blow up that you could have. Just talking about kind of how you talk about your feelings, Zach. I love you 270. Very worried, but ask him say okay. Yeah, Zach. I mean, that's exactly where like I totally know what you're saying, and like I was losing my mind. Like I was going insane, and so I came on here and did this big thing, and if I had just like talked a little bit about it more frequently and just been like, hey, like this is kind of going on at the back of my mind, but stuff like that. Maybe it wouldn't have been this like moment where I was like frothing at the mouth to tell you all every single thing, because I wanted to peel my fucking skin off, and I know you had so many problems with your health, and that must have been so hard. And I know as someone who was just kind of on the outside looking in, it seemed very sudden, to see things kind of shape up, and so I I know that must have been very hard for you, and I'm glad you did start to share more about it. And not just with mental health stuff, people have been talking about how it's good because you never know what other people are going through. With physical health stuff, it's good to talk about too, because like it reminds us all that like we might be ignoring these symptoms that are going on in our bodies and these physical symptoms, and we're not taking care of ourselves. And it can remind us that, hey, if we don't take care of ourselves, bigger shit can happen, and we need to take care of that too. So like you talking about your medical experience can also be a good thing. But I do want to say, you aren't obligated to tell everyone everything. I personally like to talk about the stuff, and not like, but like it's therapeutic for me. But you don't owe it to anyone. Like if you didn't want to tell anyone, you didn't have to. So I just want to kind of make sure that's clear. 70 said, someone I love as a friend deeply really hurt me. I don't know how many people I talk to. I do know they struggle also. So thought it would pass. The feeling like a burden is so understandable. When you are hurt by a friend, a close person, a loved one, a significant other, those feelings are so deep and so difficult to deal with. I'm very sorry you dealt with that. Because there are some people, the closer they are to your like inner circle, that can hurt you like no one else can, and that's really hard. And it can make you not want to open up to people. Just speaking personally, I don't know if you're experiencing that. So, you know, I'm sorry you experienced that, but hopefully that doesn't mean that you're not opening up to people still. But I'm so sorry you went through that. Scared for you, Zach. I can only imagine. I was only scared I was gonna die. Yeah, it was very scary, Zach, from what we know. And I I also um, I've had a near death experience, and um, it's life changing. So I'm very sorry you had to experience that, and I hope that you are emotionally doing better and have, you know, been feeling emotionally and physically better after all of that. Smelly right foot. Well, don't put your smelly right foot in that sock I made you, because that motherfucker will not breathe. That will just make it smellier. Is your left foot not smelling? Oh, absolutely. Oh, chronic migraines. Yeah. At first, I was like, "Oh, you deal with chronic migraines too," because I thought it was someone different, and then I looked up and it was Lori. I was like, "I know you." Yeah, yeah. No, okay. I was like, "Oh, Lori deals with chronic migraines too." No, I chronic pain absolutely has an effect on your mental health, and talking in therapy with someone who is trained with people who have chronic pain can make a big difference, at least on how you get through the day, because they can't take away the physical pain, but they can make you feel more supported, build that support network that you have. Near death is something entirely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That fear is life changing, and um, I don't wish that on people. Obviously, yeah. I don't really necessarily talk about mine that much, but yeah, yeah. My YouTube friends are definitely very close to me too, Rebecca, and I'm glad you have that. I'm glad you have people, you know, and I'm very, I growing up queer, the queer community has always been very adamant about talking about chosen family, and I think it's something that's, definitely the concept is definitely moved beyond the queer community, which I love, because I think that you know, if you have a hard relationship with your family, your blood family, you feel like there's something missing, and being able to choose the people who are in your family is something that's so important to so many people. And so I love that. Um, I love that you have that, because I think that the chosen family is the most important, and chosen family can include your blood family, but it doesn't have to. And I think that concept has always been something that's been really special to me. So I'm glad you have that. Right, freaking all the love. The sweaty, stinky love. Night Moon Rose, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate you all listening. It means a lot to me. feel like we had like a nice little group therapy. That's not me trying to like end it or anything. I just, was putting it out there. I'm missing a sewing needle. Find it eventually. It's crazy, but after I woke up, came back from the heart attack, was no longer who I was before. I changed the way I looked at things. Changed. Yes. I can. I can't. I was like, I can only imagine, but honestly, I can't. I can't imagine what that would be like. I've heard similar stories, and you know, having that, you know, just being out is unfathomable to me, and I can't. I'm sorry you went through that, and I hope that the person you came back as, you feel good about, even if it's what I assume would be some kind of trauma informed person, a trauma informed version of yourself. Can imagine being there for someone as well. Absolutely. Learn how to cast on with knitting. And I can do the knit stitch only, and I've been wanting to learn to knit for forever. Great, that's awesome. That's when I came back to I came to YouTube, back to YouTube, and I had learned to crochet when I was in treatment the first time as an adult. And I had knit before, but I had started to learn how to crochet and then in treatment, and then I came to YouTube to learn more. I think you'll find the purl pretty easy. Purl's kind of the knit stitch, just kind of backwards. Just changes where the loops are, whether in the front or the back. Because I was good, the next day I wasn't. Exactly, yeah. It's really when you're just riding the wave of what did you say, Stephanie? Like something about tomorrow's problems. It was really beautiful. But yeah, when you're riding that wave of just not knowing how it's going to turn out, you're just kind of at the whim of life. It's tough. Experience that. Definitely more guarded. I'm glad you love who you are, and it's hard going up with a guard, for sure. Yeah, I definitely did not get. I definitely did not. I wasn't out for 3 minutes or anything. Um, but I remember just like talking to my dad and being like, I think I'm gonna die. And there it wasn't being a hypochondriac. It wasn't being funny. It was, this is it. I don't have anything left in me. Like, I'm close. It's horrifying, you know. you're at a place where you can't experience anymore than any more emotions than you already are, because you don't have anything left in you. At least that was my experience. It was tough. And I was 18, and I remember the look on my dad's face. I still do. And that was almost like what? That was 16 years ago? No. How do you math? Yeah, 16 years ago. Yeah, I think that putting kind intention out is always positive. I think that if you're going to do it, have your beliefs and other people have their beliefs, and as long as you are not, trampling on anyone else's, which you're not, and I think that that's, kind, you know, to put just like good thoughts and everything towards someone else is never a bad thing as far as I understand it. But I'm not an expert. Regarding yourself as smart, or someone taught me that. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, it is smart. I think that everything in life exists with a balance. You know, we can do it too much. We can do it too little. I'm definitely guilty of both, right? So you know, I understand. Learn to let go of people who are hurting me. I decided to finally work on learning how to put me first. hmm I'm still learning, but life is about progress, not perfection. Absolutely. Beautiful from start to finish. Absolutely. I think that's really important. Yeah. If we try to be perfect, then we're just gonna be miserable all the time, because humans are not perfect in any like way, shape, or form. So if we just try to be better than we were yesterday, it's the best we can do. And I'm happy that was a positive outcome for you. I don't. I wish you didn't have to go through all of that to get there, but at least you have that. Okay, so if people want to keep talking about this, I'm absolutely fine with it. I don't want to take away from anything, but I also think it would be nice to, like, if we try to like lighten things up so that like we're, just kind of feeling, um, I don't know, feeling kind of little, things kind of completed, kind of, you know, made a little nice circle. Your hands asleep. I hate that. I get my limbs fall asleep a lot lately. My arms usually, but um. So, what is everyone working on right now? Easy question to start out with. If you're not working on anything, is there any project you would like to start? And it can be crochet, it can be knitting, it can be any other craft, and or it could be, Chris. It could be playing magic. Anything that brings you joy. Like, what's something is bringing you joy, or that you're working on that maybe you're just kind of chugging through. For me, I'm trying to do that bouquet blanket. That's something that I'm chugging through. I wouldn't say that it's bringing me a lot of joy right now. Um, but I do want to get it done because I feel like I'll have a lot of satisfaction once it's done. And I'm really excited for the potential for the crochet along ideas. If you haven't seen that video, I did post it today, yesterday. When the fuck did I post things? Should I throw the flying yarn cake turned donut at the screen? I will catch it for you. That looks like I'm grabbing some big boobies or something. Hey, the heart wants what it wants. I want to work on my diamond painting, but no motivation to do any crafting. Hey, no mojo, no problem. Sometimes it goes. I think oftentimes when we try to force Crojo and Mojo, the crafting mojo, like I feel like sometimes it's just like it's too much. So it's not a sign of failure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great one, Carrie. Absolutely. Working on Bod's shawl pattern with her yarn. No one believe what this donut looks like. Lori has been editing her video for today, now tomorrow, but today, forever for this whole video, and then sign. And it's been nice to, I don't know, just be in the space with you. I feel like I'm feeling really good about talking, and I'm glad to hear that it's not one sided because I really do just like I value you all so much. Like I hope that you understand how genuine that is from me. There's not any kind of placation, but this has been very healing for me and help chill my mind out, and being able to have these conversations with you mean a lot to me, with you all. So thank you so much. Crocheting a cardigan right now. I'm using Colorama Halo and Nutmeg Frost. Ooh, that sounds wonderful. I haven't seen that particular color, but the Colorama Halo always looks cool. Learning this yarn looks better with a bigger hook. Cause like this isn't it like a 6 weight? Right? Am I right about that? Or 5? I'm working on Charmander tonight. My nephew's birthday is in March, so I can't put it off. I bet that's gonna be so cute, Bridget. I can't wait to see it. And then Chris said, I drilled 2 broken locks, replaced the drilled out retaining pins, and pinned the lock cylinders up to keys that had no lock today. It gave me joy. Finding joy with whatever you're doing is absolutely 100% what you're supposed to be doing, Chris. So I love that. I love that shit. Okay, I'm gonna look for like 10 things at once because I'm. Oh, I started drawing something. I don't know if you'll be able to see it because sometimes my camera can't pick up like pencil strokes. But because the crochet along is gonna be like horror icon theme, I wanted to, and like if they're really rough sketches because I'm gonna paint it and then ink it. But I started drawing, so Jigsaw, Pennywise, that's Frankenstein, that's Sam from Trick or Treat, that's Wednesday Addams, that is Jason Voorhees, that's a mummy, that's Elvira, check the boobies, that is Pinhead from Hellraiser, and that's gonna be Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street. And that's gonna be, I'm gonna paint it and like do all the stuff, and then I'm gonna have that be like the cover for the cow. Let me go back. Ridiculous. So my bag. Love that. Did nothing. Hey, Zach, you went on and you dealt with a lot of technical difficulties, and that takes a lot of mental energy. So that's okay. Rebecca, you can't wait to see it. I predict he'll make YouTube content since I check all the time. Time with friends is never nothing. Zach, that's time well spent. Absolutely. Thank you, Stephanie. You designed your own Joker pattern a few years ago, but people said he was too scary. Let me see. Let me see. You know, I have like a really bad Joker tattooed on me. I need to get it fixed. I keep on trying to figure out how the fuck someone's gonna fix it. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's not so bad. It's pretty bad, but it's bad. Makes me sad. I got it done at LA Comic Con because they had like a tattoo like booth with like a bunch of tattoo artists, but like this person like free-handed part of it, and like there's art style didn't match the art style I was going for. So Scotty's just being an angel. Scotty's just being an angel. No way. Aren't you an angel? Aren't you an angel? This is how I collect rent. Thanks, Rebecca. I really appreciate that. I feel like I haven't done any artwork in a while. So this is a part that I did, and it's got like gold like paint pen. I put it on a bed of leaves. I don't know why. I needed something in the background, and I was like, what do I do? So it's watercolor, pen, and paint pens. And then this is from the movie. What the fuck was it? I think the movie's called They. You've probably maybe you can't identify it from this, but you've probably seen the like pictures from it, and it's like a very cool like anti-consumerism type of movie. And there's this quote that I really liked, and it says, "The golden rule: he who has the gold makes the rule." Yes, I would love to see your Joker. I don't know what's going on in the background, if I'm being honest with this, but I just really just dug this so much. It was so like, it's basically like aliens are like controlling everything and making us buy stuff so we don't notice that there are issues going on in the world. I like watercolor too. I used to be a lot better at it, but now I really suck, so I need to practice. What was I looking for? Okay. Oh, it's called They Live. Oh, thank you so much. Like Ghostface? I haven't. That's a good one to put on my list. I was gonna put Chucky on there as well. And I was also gonna do Art the Clown from Terrifier. Yeah, I'm very like hit or miss with art, with like drawing and stuff. And I can't draw from my brain. I have to see it. But that would be really cool. Yeah, I think those are the only things in the past couple. Well, so I did this. I did both of these paintings above me. So this is with acrylic paint, which is both of them with acrylic paint, which is not my forte. But I drew the crow, and then tried to do like the Navajo style blanket behind it for my friend. The moons I made with like a cup and just like moved it in different angles and stuff. Um, I like different slices coming out of it. Oh, and then I did. This is from a show called Gravity Falls, and I made a fake book from it. It's actually a Cheez-It box, but I did this when I went to LA Comic Con, and then I did like the like rusting, and then I did paper mache and all this stuff. So it's supposed to look like a journal that they have in the book, but it's like it's really squishy because it's just a cheese it box. Yeah. But I love it nonetheless. The new Scream. I don't know if I've ever seen a Scream other than like I've definitely seen Scream 1 many times because like I love Matthew Lillard and I would lay my body down on the train tracks for him. Um, but I, maybe I've seen Scream 2. I don't know, but I don't think I've seen any of the other ones. I know Scream 6 came out last year. Crystal was talking about it and she watched it for Halloween. You posted a community. I never really go on the community tab. I wish it gave you better notifications. Found your deodorant. Good. Stinky. Stinky, stinky. Did you post it on my community or yours? Thanks, Stephanie. I did a series of like Pokemon pictures, and then I've done like some animals and stuff with like gold leaf and pencil. Um, there's just like not really. I'm not that like people are like I must buy it, and people don't seem to really want it. So I've like tried to sell it before, and no one really wanted it. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Get a visit. Okay, well, Nate, Lori, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm really glad you could make it. Post it on Discord. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a cute guy. Oh, I love that. You've all seen my tattoo, right? Okay, don't judge me because it's bad. Also, I have to take off my pants, but I have boxers on, so don't, don't cream your jeans or whatever. Can I keep my boxers on? Can see it. Not really. So it's like kind of it's recognizable as the Joker, but it's not like It's not great. But part of the reason why is because I wanted a very specific Joker. And the Joker that I wanted is not like as like classically drawn, I guess. I just took my pants off for you all, so you're welcome. I'll get the I kind of wanted it to be like minimalist, which is what. So there's more lines in the artwork that I had her follow, but I wanted, again, it to be like minimalist, and I think that that's probably what happened. Okay, good night, Zach. Okay, so this is by a comic book artist named Jim Lee. This is actually the second Jim Lee inspired artwork I have on me. My feet have Two-Face on them, which is inspired by Jim Lee's work. I did see. Oh wait, no, you said you need to see. I thought you said. So yeah, so this is his artwork. So it's not classic Joker. It is very stylized. It's very Jim Lee. But I really wanted this. But one of the things that kind of got a little weird was the placement of the jaw. So instead of like where this jawline is, it's like a little up, and it puts it in this really weird place. Also, I wanted it in black and white, and I'm not super happy with it. You can kind of tell it's a Joker, but kind of not. And so that's the Joker I wanted. So I'm probably gonna get that covered up, touched up, something like that. See what we can do with it for sure. And then my feet. I don't know how to show you my feet. I think I have a picture on my phone, which is someplace. Where is my phone? Dentist appointment in the morning, and I hope you have a good night. Thank you so much for hanging out, Rebecca. Yeah, I don't think your Joker's creepy. I love him. Is that a bomb he's holding, like TNT? So cute. I'm not very good at drawing faces or people. Like if it's like a really like rough face, I can kind of do it, but like those aren't really like the best things I'm drawing at. Draw. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Bridget, that would be badass. I would love to get like a pinup of like. There's so many pinups that are like so classic and like cool looking that I would absolutely love to get. But my dad has a pinup tattoo and it makes me feel weird. So I'm like, I don't want to be that guy, you know? What the hell is making? Scotty, did you take my phone? Are you making calls? Who would he even call? He doesn't know anybody. Okay. Brain. Work. Where is phone? Okay, I'm gonna retrace my steps. Be right back. Phone. Where are you? What is it? I guess I haven't had it this whole life, but I'm not sure where it is. Did I have this on? Nope. The back of my phone is bright orange. Like, how am I losing my phone? Shit. Scotty, do you know where my phone is? Fucking Chico. Oh, there it is. Found it. Try so hard, but I never feel like people might think it. My friend that I talk about all the time, he was dyslexic, and it I know exactly what you mean, and he tried so hard, um, and then it just I I don't think anyone thinks that about. I mean, I don't think that about you for sure. I mean, I can't type all the time, and I'm not dyslexic. I just don't read what I've written. And sometimes I've written it so poorly that um, that even autocorrect is like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what you're trying to say. Gotta find feet pics. So here's what my thigh looks like up close. So that's why I'm like, maybe if the jaw was like a little bit lower, it would look a little less weird. But maybe I just need more like she really wanted this like fine line detail that I just don't think worked with what I wanted. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, my brain to like what's coming out speed is outrageous, and my mouth has no time to catch up. Okay, so don't judge me by my feet, but these are my feet. So I have Two Face on my feet. The line work is Jim Lee. But those are what my feet look like. He's like my second favorite comic book artist. But yeah, I understand that like the insecurity that comes from like people thinking that you're not smart or you can't like communicate um, because of spelling errors or like grammar errors or things like that. Like talking to my friend, like it was like learning to talk in like hieroglyphics basically because it was just like I would just get the gist. Thank you. Yeah, I had seen a tattoo that was like Chinese like acting mask that had like different emotions on it. And I thought that was really cool, but I didn't know if like it would be like bordering on like appropriation if I got it for like a bipolar tattoo. And then I thought about how cool it would be to have like Two Face or like I wanted to do a bunch of like Batman characters anyways. And so I was like, oh well like Two Face is like a perfect bipolar tattoo. And I got that when I was 19, 20. You think with a little lining it could work though? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think it just needs like a little like like a stylistic Oh, okay, then you jump away from me. What do you want? I love this Joker. I keep coming back to your Joker in Discord. It's so cute. So cute. While I'm here, let me look at the schedule for ooh, I get to watch the new Jurassic Park movie, and I don't have to watch it on silent like I did when I was on the plane. Okay, so the men's quarterfinals are tomorrow. Okay, and then women's uh, medals games are the 19th. I've been trying to keep up. There's so much stuff. So much stuff. I love tattoos. I once said top was on the stage to win a tattoo competition. Hell yeah. My chest piece has been on 2 business cards and in a tattoo magazine. That's super cool. That's always like what I hope is like, even just like making an artist like Instagram page. I'm like, this is cool. Otherwise, I'm like, I pick something lame. Um, yeah, I was gonna get something on Friday the 13th when they had some flash sales, but I couldn't get out. I felt too tired. Yeah, that's fancy. It's super cool. Me too. If they could just come here and do that. Honestly, I've looked at like getting a tattoo machine so that I could like learn to tattoo on like fake skins and then like tattoo like just like blast my legs or something like that. But I'm like, I always talk myself out of it because I know if I was manic, I would definitely just like, uh, who knows what I would end up with, and it could be very bad. Also, like sure I can draw some things, but I'm like I gotta erase a lot. I gotta erase a lot. So I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, I'm always itching for new ink. I already have like plans for everything, and I really want to get my knuckles redone because they desperately need it. Um, like it's not like the ink is falling out; it just was never there. Because she was a newer tattoo artist. But because my hands have been shaking so hard, I have not been able to go back because you need your hands to be stable. Like my hands are kind of shaky when I got them the first time, but and she works really well with that. But I'm like at this point, I'm like, no, that's not gonna be what I want. I'm thinking about re-piercing my nipple because I had both and then one fell out and closed up. So I'm thinking about redoing that, and then I'm thinking about another body piercing and at least one, and then I don't know. I don't really care about my ears. I have my rook done, and then I have my forward helix done, which I actually really like my forward helix. It's one of my favorite piercings, even though I forget about it all the time. Um, but I with my ears, I don't see them ever, so I don't ever think about them. I like facial piercings, but I just don't have a lot of real estate to put much else. I thought about a tongue piercing, but I already kind of mumble, so I don't think that's going to serve me well. And I don't really like eyebrow piercings on myself. They look cool on some people, but got pregnant and took them out. Chest or belly button or something. Honestly, I'm being totally transparent with you all. I did try to re-pierce mine like 3 days ago. but it did not work. Because I had to go slow to make sure everything was lined up, and going slow with a piercing is not the answer. So I'm thinking about getting like just like a taper and seeing if I can get through with that. Just I loved having mine done. They're so hot. Then they're so cool. Like they make your boobs and chest look 100% cooler. Why not? Yes, they don't feel great going in, but like that's about it. You get it, Bridget. Bridget, we're kindred spirits. We really are. I've thought about getting like snake bites, like right here on the sides of my lips, either going in or like going through my lip, like this one does. Which I guess would be more like a snake bite lip ray type thing. Oh, ouch! That sounds horrible, Bridget. I would never get my belly button pierced, but I'm not like I've never been like a I'm gonna show my belly to anybody kind of person. Like even even when I was teeny tiny, I've always had like a little pudgy stomach. It's just not been something I want to show anybody. I was thinking about getting a VCH, but I've been told that that doesn't necessarily fit the anatomy that I might have. So there are some options around that. And I never really thought about it before, but now I'm like, I just want piercings. I love piercings so much. So since 18, mini tats, but only many closed ear piercings. All my ear piercings have stayed open. Like I have my rook, then two lobes, and then a cartilage and my forward helix. The forward helix was one of the most painful piercings. I could not believe how fucking crunchy that was. Oh my gosh. Bridget, that sounds like an unholy nightmare. Ow. Did you get pierced with rings or did you get pierced with barbells? I mean, I know either one would hurt, but I had a friend who, when I had mine pierced with barbells, she got hers pierced with rings around the same time. And she had a dog, like I think it was her boyfriend's dog, like, and it was a bigger dog, like a 70-pound dog, jump on her and like paws up and then ripped one of her rings out. And I was just like, I like turned green and I was like, I'm gonna I'm gonna vomit like the barbell. So I was like, that sounds like it's a horror show. Yeah. But they have these kits on Amazon where it's a tapered, it's not quite a needle, it's like a little more dull. Some of them are sharper than others, but they're tapered and then they have an end where you can screw the jewelry on, kind of like what they do with the piercing needles themselves, how they like slot them in when you get, there's the needle and then they have the jewelry so they can just push it right through. But they're not very sharp. And I've been wanting to go up to a 14 in my septum because wait, no, I've been wanting to go up to a 12 in my septum because I'm at a 14. And then these are 14s. So I'm like, I think I'm gonna do those kits and try to like reopen it myself before going to a piercer, because like a piercer is going to charge more than $7, but you did your own eyebrow. Wow. There have been times, again, when manic, when I wanted to pierce myself, but I managed to talk myself out of it because I knew it would be jacked up. But anyone who can pierce themselves or tattoo themselves, I always have a lot of respect for it, because that's not easy. And I don't have like a very prominent brow bone. I guess I have enough skin, but I don't have enough. Maybe that's okay. I don't know. I like the way that bridges look, but I don't have any excess skin. So mine would definitely reject. They're already prone to rejecting anyways. But my nose is very bony right here. So it would just pull away from my skin. And if anything with a high reject rate, I don't do, because I'm not going to spend money on something that's just going to pop out. And like dermals, I would get it caught on, like any dermal, I would get caught on everything. I know I would. So that's cool though, to do your own eyebrow. I don't know. I feel like I might look like a douchebag with my eyebrows done. I don't know, like all these facial piercings, and like I get an eyebrow done, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I look like a douchebag. Yeah, my ears are kind of tucked in, so you don't see any of my ear piercings. So I just forget about them, and I don't think I would ever like stretch them out or anything. I do want, like, it'd be cool to get to like a 10 with my nose and then call it a day with my septum. This one falls out all the time, so you'll always see me kind of like twisting it tighter, because I've lost many a piercing right here. It was freaky walking around with the needle in front of my eye. Oh, I bet. I bet. I have thought about like a high nostril, to see if like some people have the anatomy for like a higher nostril, which I think I could do on the side that I have like a single one done. So maybe I'll get that done one day. But I already have so many piercings in my nose. Who knows? Who knows? But I think I'm going to log off and call it a night. I really appreciate you all being here and talking with me. And I felt like we had a really good conversation. I'm very thankful for it. But I'm pretty exhausted, and I just want to like turn on the TV and watch Heated Rivalry again. Also, so we have book club. Let me just say, one girl had her ears pierced, like piercing girl from the mall place. Good thing her mom wasn't upset. It's very like a Parent Trap. So we did have our first book club. If you want to join, it's definitely not too late. We only read the first 3 chapters. They're very fast. And it's fun. It's been fun to read. The first chapter I was a little lost, but 2 and 3 I definitely got with it, and it was definitely a lot of fun. A little raunchy, actually pretty raunchy, but that don't scare me much. And it was fun. So if you are interested in the book club, over on the Discord we have our book club like tab, and you can check it out if you're interested in that. I'm about to schedule, once I get Zach's schedule coming up, so yes, there is an audiobook, and that's actually what we were listening to. So we use the Hoopla app. I'm going to type it out for you, which is free if you have a library card. It might depend on where you are, whether or not your library works with Hoopla. But we are using Hoopla, and there is an ebook and an audiobook. What we ended up doing is we scheduled a time on Sunday, and we just like listened to the first 3 chapters. We like chit chatted at the end of each chapter, make sure we understood what was going on, and like talked about it, and we I think it took, even with like all of our conversation and stuff, like less than an hour to listen to the first 3 chapters. And the book is called Fool by Christopher Moore. So you can catch up to us very easily, and then our next meeting, we're going to read 4 through 6. We'll have it on the audiobook so that you can crochet or like whatever. And then what I've been doing is I'll make sure everyone's schedule is free, and then I'll put something in Discord. You can do like an event, and when you do an event, you can create a calendar invite, and that calendar invite is great because you can add it to like your phone calendar, like Google Calendar, whatever, so that it reminds you, because I forget everything. Best way to be. Thank you so much. I'll try to catch up tomorrow or tonight. That sounds great. Yeah, we'd love to have you. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and I hope you had a good night. I hope it got better, and we'll talk soon. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate it.